Social media, it's a part of everyone's lives, and we all know how addictive it can be. However, not many people know that its addictiveness is a priority to the big corporations. But what is it exactly about social media that is so addictive for us? Dopamine. We know that engagement with social media releases a chemical called dopamine. That's why when you get a text, it feels good. That's why we care so much about the likes, the comments, and acceptance in the virtual world. Dopamine is the exact same chemical that makes us feel good when we smoke, when we drink, and when we gamble. Now, we have age restrictions on smoking, gambling, and alcohol. Why? Because they're highly addictive. And if misused, they can have detrimental effects on our health and well-being. Well, as you may have noticed, we don't have age restrictions on social media, and we're slowly starting to recognize the harm it is causing to the society. We have these extremely addictive, numbing platforms available to everyone of all age that are designed to keep the user on the app for as long as possible. That's why controversial topics trend. That's why when you like a post of a certain topic, you will see more of it. It was designed to addict you. Here are two clips of Facebook executives admitting to what Facebook is actually doing to the society.
The unintended consequences of a network when it grows to 1 billion or 2 billion people, and it literally changes your relationship with society, with each other. It probably interferes with productivity in weird ways. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains.
It literally is a point now where I think we have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. That is truly where we are. And I would encourage all of you, as the future leaders of the world, to really internalize how important this is. If you feed the beast, that beast will destroy you.
So what are some ways in which Facebook addicts people? Well, one of the techniques is the so-called slot machine technique. Every time you open the Facebook app, there's a 2-second delay between the time you've opened the app and the moment you receive the notifications. And that is not buffer time for the app, if you're wondering. It is so-called the variable schedule reward. It's just like in the casino. You're playing the slot machine, there's a time delay, and in that time delay, your anticipation's building, then you get to see how many notifications you got. Sometimes you get a reward, sometimes you don't. And the more random and variable it is, the more addictive it becomes. So it literally turns your phone into a slot machine. This is so-called the magic of maybe. Maybe there's a text, maybe there's not. And if there is a text, your dopamine levels increase as much as 400%. This spike in dopamine levels is almost as much as what cocaine gives you, slightly less than what actually cocaine gives you. Another technique is the vulnerability to whatever we post on social media. Let's say you post a new profile picture on Facebook. Facebook created this algorithm that sends people notification of you got, for example, 35 new likes on your profile picture. And Facebook has the ability to tweak these settings depending on how often they want you to go on the app and for how long they want you to stay on the app. But so why are these companies doing that? Why would they try to addict you so hard? See, for any company that's business model is advertising or engagement built advertising, they mostly care about the time you spend on the app. The more time you spend, the more money they make. If you didn't know, every 5th post on Instagram that you see is an ad. So every 5 posts you scroll, you're a potential customer for Instagram advertising companies. To put it in simple words, the game that the companies are playing at the moment is what different persuasive techniques can we throw at the customer to make him stay on the app as long as possible and make him come back as frequently as possible. According to Jay Clements' statistics, people use social media 2.5 hours daily on average. That is 16 hours a week on average on social media. Let me ask you a question. Write down in the comments 3 things that you have learned from scrolling for social media this past month. What skills have you learned? What useful information did you pick up? And I'm not talking about nuances from celebrities' lives, but about useful information that will be actually beneficial to you in your life. That's why I uninstalled all social media apps from my phone and restricted my potential social media use as much as possible. See, in my opinion, using social media daily is pretty much like smoking cigarettes. You stick with a harmful habit that makes you happy in the moment, ignoring the potential harm it will bring to you in the future. With cigarettes, the harm is the risk of lung cancer and other health problems, and with social media, it is the time wasted every day that didn't bring anything useful into your life, just made you feel more miserable and filled the pockets of big corporations. So my recommendation would be to avoid the feed at all costs. Some of the ways in which you can do that would be to install a Chrome extension called the Feed Eradicator. What this app does is basically it replaces your feed with an inspirational quote, assuring that you don't get trapped in the scrolling the feed rabbit hole. Another solution to this problem would be to delete all social media apps or to set up screen time limits. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for your time and peace.